Have you ever looked at a map and wondered, what's the deal with Chile? It's this super long, skinny country snaking down the side of South America. It looks like it could snap in half. So, how did Chile end up with such a unique shape? Let's dive in. First, let's talk geography. On one side, you have the massive Andes Mountains, one of the longest mountain ranges in the world. They form a natural, almost impenetrable wall to the east. On the other side, you've got the vast Pacific Ocean. So, from the very beginning, Chile was squeezed between a giant mountain range and a deep blue sea. This natural corridor basically dictated that any expansion would have to be north or south, not east or west. Now let's rewind the clock a bit. Before the Spanish arrived, the area was home to various indigenous groups. The most dominant in the south were the Mapuche people. They were fierce warriors and successfully resisted invaders for centuries, including the Inca Empire and later the Spanish. This resistance effectively created a southern boundary for the early Spanish colony of Chile. The Spanish found it incredibly difficult to push further south into Mapuche territory, so the Biobío River became a de facto border for a very long time. So the colony was initially confined to this central region. But what about all that land to the north and south? This is where things get interesting in the 19th century, after Chile gained independence. The north is home to the Atacama Desert, one of the driest places on Earth. For a long time, nobody cared much about this barren wasteland. But then, a discovery was made: nitrates. Nitrates were like gold back then, essential for making fertilizers and explosives. Suddenly, this useless desert was incredibly valuable. The problem was, Bolivia and Peru also had claims to parts of this nitrate-rich region. This conflict of interest led to the War of the Pacific in 1879. To make a long story short, Chile won the war. As a result, they annexed territory from both Peru and Bolivia, pushing their northern border way up and grabbing all that desert land. This is how Chile got its long northern extension. While all this was happening up north, the Chilean government also decided to finally push south into the lands of the Mapuche. Through a series of military campaigns, they incorporated the Araucanía region into the country. They then continued to push even further south, all the way down to the wild and remote lands of Patagonia, reaching the Strait of Magellan. They wanted to control the strategic waterway connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. So there you have it. Chile's peculiar shape isn't an accident. It's a fascinating combination of formidable geography, with the Andes in the Pacific, the centuries-long resistance of the Mapuche people, and a 19th century resource war that stretched the country north into the desert. It's a story of mountains, oceans, conflict, and ambition, all written onto the map of the world. Thanks for watching.